Hey, welcome to the Know You Turn podcast. I'm your host, Gula Get Rich, and my co-host.
Your boy GB, no pressure.
Today we got a special guest, one of the biggest that ever did it in the city, as far as I know. This is my first time having the pleasure to speaking to him, but you know what I'm saying, I heard your name a lot around the city. Big Kurt Ruff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big homie, the real big homie.
Yeah, man. Love that intro.
Hey man, it's a pleasure to have you here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get a little insight on you know what I'm saying? Big Kurt. A lot of people done heard about you. I don't know if too many people know you. Like I don't really know you, but I definitely done heard you.
This realized season 2 kickoff, so you the first guest. I'm gonna say season 2, man.
Blessed
So
to be here.
I know this gonna be the one to do it. Feel me? You know, our show we do athletes, rappers, and dope individuals, and serious entrepreneurs. You feel me? So you know the last 2 definitely you check all of them off. You feel me?
For sure, with a capital D.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Hey man, so
go ahead.
Hey, so tell the people about Big Kurt. Like, what is Big Kurt? Who is Big Kurt? I'm sorry.
Big Kurt, first and foremost, is just a man. That's it. You know, I was raised a certain way. I try to conduct myself a certain way. You know, it's all about class. It's all about progression. You know, a lot of people speak on motion. I hear the young cats, oh, you got motion. You know, I don't want motion. I want progression.
Yeah.
Motion, you could be running in circles and it's saying just in place.
Yeah.
You smell me? I want that progression. I want to go forward. And that's been like my pursuit my whole life, just trying to move forward.
I just posted that. That's crazy. Progress over motion.
Yeah, I heard
that's
somebody say
It's
that.
on my page. It's one of my little screens.
Man,
My
that's
little
what's up.
thumbnail. That's crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Just being active versus actually going somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They don't get them confused.
No,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
Tell the people where you from, like where you originally from.
I'm born in Cincinnati, Ohio. You know, downtown, you know, Lower Home, Lincoln Court, you know, Vine Street. I stayed through now. That's what y'all call Crosstown down here. You know what I mean? And then I moved to Florida, Orlando in September 90. You know, I moved over there on Columbia Street. But I got all my striped stars and bars right there in Pine Hills. You know, Pine Hills is my spot. That's so you know that's what I'm gonna push all day long. Pine Hills, that's my spot. You know.
I mean, so you do got a book out. Did y'all see the book?
Redemption of a
I
Rough
read
Rider.
it myself. It's
Right,
pretty
right.
interesting.
Make sure y'all get that on Amazon,
Make sure you get the
Barnes
book.
and Noble.
Hopefully it'll be a link somewhere at the bottom. In reading the book, I found something similar to ourselves. Like all of us has a level of hustle in us. Everybody's. I mean, some people take it to a different level. So I'm gonna say, how you got started? Like how you got started? What was your first endeavor for being an entrepreneur?
Hold on, before you answer that, let them know why you wrote the book first. Then we let them go into the book.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
why you wrote the book?
I wrote the book because not really necessarily to glorify street life. It's like kind of like the book is kind of like in 2 parts. It's the part called The Rough Route, and it's a part called Redemption of the Rough Rider.
Okay.
And I wrote that book because, for one, I wanted to reach that person, that teen, or even an older cat that might be 1 foot from the graveyard, 1 foot from the penitentiary. You know, that person who want to make money. You know, that person who, because that's all really what a hustler just, you know, it's real simple. You know, I heard somebody say one time, somebody who get up every day trying to do better, trying to make better for themselves, you know. And that's really what it's all about. You know, we want to pursue something good. And I wanted to write this book because I wanted to give some of the youth, you know, and whoever else, just to really let them know, like, look, man, it's different angles of the street life. You know, sometimes, you know, we see the fancy cars and the jewelry, you know, we might hear the stories and, you know, we get that one part and it's a whole nother part to that. And that part there, I think nobody sees that part. You know, that's not the part that people talk about. You know, even when the cat go in, it's like, oh yeah, you know, Joe Blow went in, you know, and you know, you might be talked about for a split second and he forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Facts. Get back to his question. You were saying what was one of your first endeavors?
First endeavor was, like I said before, a hustler is somebody who want to get up in the morning and do better. When I was young, I stayed downtown Cincinnati, like I said, right? And man, I'm talking about, you know, it's concrete. It's no yards. It was just, you know, just bricks and alleys and, you know, of that nature, things of that nature. Well, my grandmother, she wanted me to move over with her to a neighborhood called College Hill. College Hill is more like a Richmond Heights type neighborhood, Carver Shores type neighborhood. You know, it's a black neighborhood, you know, middle class family. You know, it's action going on in the neighborhood, but at the same time, it's also like a middle class environment. You know, some people struggling, some people not. And when I got over there, first thing I saw was like, damn, they got yards. They got driveways. They don't have that where I'm from down there. So I immediately was like, in my grandmother's garage, grabbing the lawnmower, cutting grass, shoveling snow, raking leaves. So all season long, I had a little way to make a little money.
Yeah.
They working me like a dog. Now I'm shoveling the whole driveway, getting $10. But it was something to me. I was trying to, push for that. So I started off doing that. And then that led me to, one day I ended up meeting somebody and I started throwing the Cincinnati Post newspaper. I was doing that. And all that was good stuff. Now, fast forward a little bit, I ended up coming to Florida. When I come to Florida, I'm 14. So when I come to Florida, it was like I said, I landed on Columbia Street first. Never forget it, man, because my sister and them, they came before me. I didn't want to go at first. My mom, my sister and them came first. And I didn't want to move down. I thought, at the time, I was misinformed about Florida. I was thinking Florida like country,
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and so I didn't want to come. But then when I did go, it was like, okay, I see the movement. I see the action. I was, fascinated with the cars. They was, car capital. Just was putting them together, fade paint jobs and, bar 30s and lows back then.
They ain't doing that up north like that.
No, man, Florida is
Nobody
truly.
like the South. Florida
is, hey, listen, boy, ain't nobody. I'd have been all over the spot, man. Florida do their thing when it comes to the car. They always have, been like that. So, I seen the action, and my sister was telling me, it's like, look, you in the heart of the ghetto. No, we right there on Columbia Street between Westmoreland and Paramore. And I'm like, man, hard to get. I remember walking outside, and first thing I noticed was an orange tree in my yard. First thing I noticed, man, I never forget it. I looked, and I was like, damn, I ain't gonna never go hungry again. I got an orange tree right here. You smell me? Yeah. And I also noticed that, if you had a little heart, you could pretty much, set up shop and do your thing.
Yeah.
On all levels. I always had a big heart. And I was Lion King. I always had a big heart.
At 14.
At 14. I had a big heart.
How tall you was at 14? How tall you were?
I was probably about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, you was already, you were a big Kurt back then.
I was a big cat then, you know what I mean? And so I kind of like seeing the movement. I ended up moving to, we ended up moving over to Sky Lake from there first before we went to Pine Hills. And I went on this double date. Never forget it, man, with my partner, man. One of my partners, man. I went on this double date. Me and him. One of the girls was already his girlfriend. And I met the little chick. We go out on a little date. And, man, I had a pocket full of quarters, man. I kid you not, man, a pocket full of quarters. Yeah. And, I done empty my mama change jar, right? And I got these quarters, I'm going around trying to get my hair cut, you know what I mean? Trying to put together an outfit, you got a bar shirt or something like that, I'm trying to put it together. And then we go, I got just enough to get in the movies. And, man, my partner's chick was like, hey, I want some Chinese. Nobody Chinese one, but like $4.99, $3.99. I'm like, I looked at him like, with the look like, damn, hey man, I ain't got enough of that. You smell me? But I ain't want to say nothing. I just gave him the look. He read the play, slid me $20 bill. He was already hustling.
Yeah.
Small town hustling. And that night, I kid you not, man, I sat back and I was like, man, I gotta give me some money, man. This I gotta give me some money. But and that's pretty much what really just set me on to like, hustling in the streets, small town, pushing little rocks or whatever the case may be. And immediately I went to Pine Hills, and from Pine Hills, it was like, back then, that was like a good neighborhood, which was a benefit to me. It was a benefit because you got to keep in mind, Pine Hills at the time was like, if you lived in Pine Hills, you had to have made it. You smell me?
Yeah,
that was like back
I
then.
used to be arguing with people about
house?
that.
I don't know
I used to be like, man, Pine Hill was a suburb back in the day. They was like, oh,
like you say, y'all got grass.
Yeah, you smell me? So yeah, definitely that. So when I came there, the benefit to it on the street level was all the big time dope boys. No, I ain't gonna name them, but they was in the neighborhood. They was living there, household names in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who was very active. So we got a chance to learn the game from a lot of those guys who had already made it. Cats from it. That's why I used to look at a host of like that, my age group, that era of Pine Hills, all those guys, like had like a moment in the city.
Yeah.
You can go down from Pooh to EB, John Bernard, Big Nose Sean. I mean, you can go down the list of them. It's more than that. Even Mark, Big Keith, Marquise Lloyd, he claimed Carver Shore, but he grew up right off of Silver Star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right off of Silver Star. So it was like, we pretty much, we got the game from, guys who had done made it. And it was a situation, I was going across town with one guy in particular who lived in Forest Village. I'm grabbing a little work from him. It's so much bigger than what was over there. I'm cutting it straight down the middle. I might get 450 packs. I'm making 850 packs. You know what I mean? And I'm selling weight. I'm the weight man. I ain't working with that but a few $100, but I'm the weight man over there.
Hold on. For the people who don't know, what's a 50 pack?
Man, 50 pack, at the time, you get you about 5 or 6 rocks, 5 or 6 20s. You know what I mean? That you can sell for $20. You know what I mean? Little big dimes.
Hey, it's crazy, right? Because the story you just explained is what a lot of these kids are missing now. You actually got a mentor. Like, you learned from somebody before you.
Exactly.
And a lot of these kids now don't even want to hear that. They don't even look up nobody, feel me? But you were smart enough to know that somebody did it before me. I'm going to get a lesson from them because they just did it. Even though I'm going to put my own twist to it, do my own two-step with it, but I got the basis from them, you feel me?
Exactly.
You examine it, put it in your own system, you know what I'm saying? And you made it work, you feel me? That's how I go, though. That's how I go, though.
So as far as starting off in the street or starting off getting your start in hustling, right? Because I'm saying hustling is a form of entrepreneurship. It's just on that side of the law. You know what I'm saying? So what started you into that lane? Or did somebody see you in it? Like I heard you say you caught a couple 50 packs and did your thing, but in order to scale from that, what was the step to go from that to the next level?
Well, it's real. I want to answer that question. I want to say one little thing before I do that, right? Because it was something you said about the youth, and they don't want to look up, to nobody and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that's true. But a lot of that comes from the fact that, I just want to say something about that. A lot of that comes from the fact that think about it. A guy want to hustle right now. He go to an area. Say you go to the trail, for an example. And you see that guy out there on the trail that might be, 25, 26 years old. He the flyest guy out there. He got the new shoes. He got 3-4 bad chicks pushing up on him, bringing them fried rice, chicken wings, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? The kids look at him like, oh, he the man.
Nah, he the man.
He staying in the hotel. He catching the hotel fee. And a lot of times that particular guy, the youth is not looking at that guy saying, damn, this nigga the same. He out here doing the same thing with me, but I ain't but 14, 13 years old. Yeah. I ain't but 15. So they really looking up to somebody who they shouldn't look up to. Right. They not looking up to a person who done laid down that platform. They looking up to a person who they see as the best that they see at that moment. You smell me? Right. And that's what makes them, they learn the game from the wrong people.
No, I agree. I get what you're saying. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta learn the game from the right person, and you also gotta learn not just from a person's successes, but a person's failures as well.
Yeah. Now I say that because a lot of like I deal with a lot of. I'm in a little gun violence program. I deal with a lot of jits, and they be closed off until you break the barrier. And they got their own defense mechanism to put up. Yeah. So when you break them down, you get close to them, and a lot of them feel like us older dude, we trying to take advantage of them. You feel me? Not saying nobody particularly. I would say it didn't happen so much now, so a lot of them just be closed off until you show them real love. Then once you show them real love, they lock on to you now. They embrace you now. They call me about everything all day, every day. You feel me? So that's true. That's my point I was saying when I was saying that.
And I agree with that. Yeah. I want to now back to your question, right? What I feel like is this, right? To make the jump. First of all, I feel like a person got to have. What's the word I'm looking for? A person got to be surrounded by multiple people, different backgrounds. You can't close yourself off with the same person. A lot of times, a lot of people do that. A lot of people, it don't matter what they doing. One cat might be a drug dealer, he hang with drug dealers. One guy might be a robber, he hang with robbers. You understand what I'm saying? One guy might work, he hang with other guys that work at the level job he work at. You got to surround yourself around different people. And then you will be, and keep your ears open. You smell me? You keep your ears open and your eyes open. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to have an open heart so you can receive a message. Because a person don't teach you specifically. I always tell a person, like when I first learned how to cook dope, a person ain't tell me, hey, look, this what you do, this what you do. I'm over the shoulder. I'm checking them out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm watching by his example. Sometimes you got to watch a person by their example, even in business. What made me make the jump is I was always a hustler. Like I say, it don't matter what I was doing. And I done a lot of things to get money, legal and illegal. You understand what I'm saying? And what it was with me is, from Cincinnati, some of the roots, in Cincinnati, the game was a little bit different. And what I mean by that is like when you see the older cats over there, they was more so, they wasn't putting their money, in cars. They wasn't throwing the money in the club. You smell me? They wasn't doing that. They was more so like getting a business. You know what I mean? So I was always at a young age like, okay, you got to get a business. You got to get a business. But the problem with that is that when you get money, and everybody know that when you go to get money, no matter how you get it, you can win a lottery, you can have a really good job, you could be hustling. When you get money, everybody come to you with their problems. You smell what I'm saying? Everybody come with your problem, with their problems, and everybody wants you to invest in their ideas.
Ideas.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they only want you to invest in their idea because they want you to fund it. Yeah. You smell me? And if they can fund it, they won't come holler at you at all because they don't need you. Yeah. So what happens is when you go to investing into those people's ideas, a lot of times, when they get to a level where they can fund it themselves, they don't need you. If they the one putting in the work, if I'm a auto mechanic and I'm fixing all the cars, and I just need you to get the brick and mortar and set it all up. Once I get it up and running, my clientele and my money up, I'm looking at you like, you ain't turning there and wrench. You feel me? So now all of a sudden, jokers, they jump in ship. So what I did, I always, like I say, I started off with basic towing, a tow truck service. I did, I promoted concerts, but a lot of times I was investing in other people's ideas. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I went to saying to myself, like, damn, what can I invest in? This my idea. What can I invest in? And at the time, all I did at that point was really hustle. I know I didn't really want to do a whole lot of manual labor. So I'm like, damn, okay, let's try this real estate out. And I bought my first house, and I got in at a good time when the market was, bad. So I'm getting houses. I got in right around, I didn't get in when it first got bad. I got in right around, it first got bad around 08, 09. You're right around there. But then I got in like 10. Yeah. Right around 10. That was good. 10, it was straight, but it wasn't like it was in 09. Nah. 09, you were getting houses, man, 15, 20 grand.
Yeah, nuts though. Because it was bleak at that time. Yeah. I got in like 2011. Oh yeah. 09 was still scary. Like it almost like it was still going. It was still going down. It ain't. You had to know something to be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this because it was like the world's finna end. Property dead. If you had the nuts to buy something then, like you probably got rich off that. That
was my turning point. That was the thing that kind of like helped my wife and I go to another level because we was getting cribs at a really nice price, and I was trying to get as many as I can get. And
how many cribs you had total at one time?
I had a nice little bit, man. Double digits, man. Double digits, man. Like up in the double. I got properties all in Georgia too. Yeah. So it was a real good thing, man. That was like a nice way to have something like almost like a retirement plan.
Tangible. You got some tangible assets that appreciate over time. You can't lose. I just wish like the little stuff I did sell, I ain't never sell.
I know. But you know what it is?
20, 30,000, 300 now.
Oh, yeah. I did it now. I seen the worst house we got. Man, the worst house we got, I paid, I want to say 20, I think I'm probably in that house about maybe 28,000. And I can close my eyes right now. I said a house like 212. It's crazy.
Is it in Orlando?
It's in Orlando.
Man, you can't buy no house for 212. Yeah. In Orlando.
Yeah. Well, no, this is the worst one I got. In Orlando, you can buy one. You can get them in the twos, the upper twos. This one right here is like the worst one I got. So it got a tree down there in the living room. Tree almost in the living room.
They want 300 on Ivan Lane.
Yeah. I know
it. I'm saying 200 is a deal for any house at this time.
A good deal.
And 2011, you can get a house for 13, 14, 20,000 all day long.
Yeah.
But
just take back to your story though, like everybody knows the story from the street. You went one of the hardest in the street, and you went one of the hardest in the corporate world. Feel me? Mm-hmm. Like your story really is like the shit you see on TV. The urban boys you be reading. You feel me? Like all the urban boys used to read. You read the prison and all that. Yeah. Like you actually like in the street, they ain't gonna play with you in the business world. They ain't gonna play with you. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like so. I had the pleasure. Well, I ain't gonna say it was a pleasure. Where it was, because we ended up being locked up together about a year in the same dorm. Feel me? Yeah. So I actually got like, I ain't gonna lie, I learned a lot from you just being there. Not even you telling me, just observing, listening, and watching. Feel me? Like, I remember we talking about the trust game. You feel me? The real estate game. You explained to me the difference between a Rolex. You feel me? The difference in the value, how to keep the value of the money. Like that stuff I ain't know because I ain't had nobody around me that to that love. I ain't gonna say, and some always like you did the stuff your way too. Like they want to what is. No, I'm gonna get the regular jury with the Robert Graham shirt. I'm gonna do my own style. You always did your own way, your own style. I ain't gonna lie.
Socially different. I call it.
I always peep that about you though. So I learned that a lot from you though.
Hey man, I always tell you, you one of the sharpest brothers I met, especially young brothers. You always been a real sharp cat, man. You was doing different things too, even in that spot when you sitting down learning Spanish and just always excelling. Reading, corporate stuff. So believe it or not, I learned some things from you as well. You always been a sharp cat, man. I think when I look at a lot of the society right now, everybody want to follow somebody. Everybody, that's what's really wrong with the world right now, because everybody want to be like the next person. It's like no originality in nothing, and that's crazy. At some point you got to realize, look, man, ain't nothing wrong with being different. You don't have to be like, like I used to tell cats, even like on some street stuff. I used to be like, man, boss man, you ain't gotta frown your face up or poke your chest out to be tough.
Like you tough, exactly.
That ain't gonna make you tough because you're doing that.
Hey, the most dangerous people I ever seen, they smile a lot,
bro. All the killers I met are real gangsters. They smile, they smile, and they real polite.
Yeah,
they real polite, real humble. There, yes sir, no, for real. Like I done seen
no
it.
smoke.
Real humble.
No smoke.
It's crazy though, right? I think we got separated like 2017, 18. Remember they shut the camp down.
Yeah.
And remember me and you in the same door. It wasn't C3. It was
that.
Gangland. They called it Gang Doing that Gangland. They had to close his door and moving us. So it was wild, but we weren't really studying, you feel me? Little trouble.
No pressure.
But it's crazy. Like me, at that time I had 30 years in prison. And you had 20. You had 20. We going to La Berry. We calling lawyers.
Yeah.
We but bro, read this, let me see this, you feel me? So all we had was our energy. We had our ambition that we're gonna get out, you feel me? We just kept saying it, you feel me? So I just want to take this moment, like, we ain't in the cell no more, feel me? We on a set right now, on a podcast, feel me?
Nice.
And it don't happen for everybody, feel me? The percentage low, real low. So two people who was close to each other, doing the same mission and end up getting the same goal is crazy, you feel me? That's a real blessing from God. And we kind of put the energy in the universe, and it came to fruition, feel me?
We always believed in it too, though. We knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, fact. We used to always.
So on that note, I know you beat a trying time, and I read in the book that you beat a trying time.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Like, you were sentenced to...
I was sentenced to a total of 60 years. It was 20 because it was running concurrent. I got 20, 15, and 5. Man, wow, man. When I tell you the biggest injustice that I ever saw in my life, it really was. I won't pretend that I've been a saint my whole life. Nowhere I air out all my dirty laundry, but I ain't been a saint my whole life. I will say that. However, that had to be the biggest. Somebody told me it happened to them, I wouldn't have believed them. I'm gonna be honest with you, because my situation is I had a conspiracy to traffic in cocaine, possession of a structure for the purpose of trafficking cocaine, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. My case consists of 14,000 phone calls. Not one of them talking about the sale or delivery of drugs. The agents executed 4 search warrants. They didn't find one crumb of drugs, not even a scale, not even a box of baking soda. No drugs, drug paraphernalia. I had not one person, even the gentleman, if you want to call him that turned to a state witness, even he didn't come in and say that he received drugs from me throughout the course of the investigation. He did say he received drugs from me in the past, which I couldn't be charged with that. However, that was the Emory James cat, just so you know, whatever the case may be. Nobody came and said they got drugs.
How much they spent on your investigation? I read it one time before. I read your paperwork.
When they tried to do the breakdown, they give you the breakdown of what you got to pay. I think what I would have had to pay was like over $500,000. So they split that breakdown among all the co-defendants.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know that how crazy that is. That's crazy for a case.
That was just my portion. So I mean, they spent a lot of money, man, and it was just an unfortunate situation. I get it on their end. I can see them looking and saying, I got a history of selling drugs. I did have a history of selling drugs. So I won't pretend like I don't know where they get the suspicion from. But the truth of the matter is they had came too late. My life had changed. They had came entirely too late. And they couldn't accept that. They couldn't accept that they came too late, and I really got railroaded. I mean, I had a juror on my trial that actually went to church or one of the agents who was in my case. And the judge allowed them to stay on my trial.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, well, the jury was like, well, it's a big church, I don't really talk to him. And the judge didn't, he let him stay. Now I'm sitting back saying like, well, damn, imagine if I went to church with one of the jurors.
At the church.
If I ain't never talked to him, you can sure hell believe I'm going to talk to him next service. I'm going to get in his chest next service. Hey, look, man, let me ride with you, man.
So in going through trial, you got to feel like you're going to win. It's always a possibility you're going to lose, but you probably feel like, man, they can't stick me with this.
Listen, man, when I went to trial, I honestly can tell you, I thought my chances of losing would have been like a snowball in hell. You hear me?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was no way possible. To be honest with you, before trial, I was thinking like, what am I on pump? Like I'm thinking somebody about to come out and say, because you got to keep in mind that I was in the drug game for a long time. So I got like a lot of years invested into drug game, and I was one of the people who, because I was in the drug game, I wanted to know about it. So so I studied the laws. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, well, convict on the trafficking, it's 4 elements.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, the 2 key elements is knowledge and possession. Right. So how you gonna convict me with trafficking when you can't prove that I was in possession or I had knowledge?
Facts.
You got drugs from another guy, and you said I gave them to him. He didn't say I gave them to him. I don't got a fingerprint on it. So I'm like, nah, they can't do that. Yeah. So I'm like, well, okay.
Logically, it don't make sense. By the law, it don't make sense. Right.
So now I'm like, okay, well, maybe the conspiracy, I can see them going with that, because all conspiracy is 2 or more got to conspire to agree. So I was like, well, maybe they going to push the conspiracy. But then I'm like, okay, well, you don't got no phone call or nothing saying that I know I hadn't done it. So I'm like, you don't have nothing saying that we conspired to agree.
Facts.
So I'm like, well, okay, well, that ain't going to go. So I said, well, what about the unlawful use of a 2-way communication device? I knew, before I even seen the transcripts and knew that they had 14,000 calls, 4,000 of them recorded, I knew that I never said nothing about selling or buying drugs, delivering or nothing on the phone, because I know I hadn't done it. That wasn't my life. Yeah. So I'm like, I know they ain't got no calls with that, so how you going to prove that? Yeah. And then lastly, when they said the possession of a structure, they was talking about the vehicle. I had a single compartment in the vehicle. However, that's not illegal to have. What makes it illegal is you got to have something in it illegal.
Yeah.
So me knowing that, I'm like, the law clearly states, it says simply being the means of transportation. Like just because I got to a spot in that vehicle, that's not enough to arouse for that conviction. Okay. And just with the state's theory that they had, the drugs had never touched the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how the hell they gonna prove that? So I actually thought I was being punked for real. I really did. Like I'm not even joking. I thought somebody was gonna come out and be like,
it's over.
I got you. You know what I mean? And then when I was in the holding cell at the trial and they was deliberating, that's when I knew I was gonna lose trial. God actually told me that. And I don't think I'm crazy, but it was a situation where my whole movement, from me going to jail, from me turning myself in, all of that stuff was like, it was almost like something out of it was definitely a story. When I was, I ain't gonna say on the run, because I always knew I was gonna turn myself in. But when I was getting my affairs in order, because you gotta keep in mind, I got 6 kids, I had a wife, I had one child, it was one child, it was 4, those was my 2 youngest. So I definitely wanted to put things in position, and before I turned myself in. So I won't say I was on the run, but when I was getting my affairs in order, I was in this hotel, and I remember me watching an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, never forget it. And it was a situation where it was one episode with his father, the truck driver guy, and he went to, the whole thing, and he crying, oh, well, all this stuff here. Had nothing to do with my situation. But that episode, it kind of like got me emotional. It had me thinking about my kids, and I'm like, man, and I actually I wasn't talking, I ain't had contact with them at the time. And, my wife was terrified. I didn't have contact with them at the time. So I actually was calling somebody who I know had contact with them. Reached in a drawer to get the phone that I was going to call them on, and I ended up pulling out this blue Bible. And I pulled out the blue Bible, and I didn't grow up in the church. You know, I always believed in God, but I ain't grew up in the church. So it was a situation. I had never read one whole book of the Bible in my life. You know, never had read one whole book. So I'm like, you know, I grabbed a book and I got it in my hands. I closed my eyes and I'm like, you know, Father God, I said, I know you know I don't navigate through this book that well. I said, but if it's something you trying to tell me, just tell me, because right now I'm hurting, you know. Yeah. And I closed my eyes and I opened the book and I landed on Matthew 16:26. You know, everybody knows, what is man profit the world, lose his soul, what man give in exchange for a soul. And man, I was thinking to myself, like, all the success I had, you know, financially successful in a lot of different ways. And I'm like, here it is right now, you know, it's like none of that stuff mattered. Don't no cars matter, don't no money, don't no jewelry, don't none of this stuff matter. Now I'm thinking about my family at this point. Right. And I kept that with me, right? So that was something that I kept with me. And then when I turned myself in, strangely, they put me in the Christian norm, which I was blown. I was like, oh, hold on. That was a spot where really you got the request to go to.
Your background, you know,
like, I wanted to get out. I said, look, man, when I realized what it was, I'm like, look, man, I ain't trying to be in here. Because, you know, you got to go to church, mandatory.
Yeah. And, sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah, man. I'm like, no, man.
Wake you at 8 o'clock in the morning. Get up.
Exactly. You
church every day, 3 times a day.
Man, listen, I told the officer, he was like, listen, man, you know, you don't want to go, you know, lock down about it. Just write a request. You know, they'll get you up out of here. So I wrote my request. I put it in the box. And but you know, you got to go to church. So what happened is I'm going to the services while I'm waiting for this, you know, this particular day. And it seemed like every preacher that came in there
was talking to you.
Was talking straight to me. I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm taking notes. They make you take notes. I'm writing notes. So that particular day, I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna hang in here for a little minute. I liked it. I went and got my request out the box, ripped that up. And I was in there for about 2 weeks. Then they tried to say I was paying the officers and got me up out of there, right? That's what they said. That's crazy. That's what they say. But in them 2 weeks, I wrote so many notes, you know, services, like you say, 3 times a day. Yeah. And I had all these notes. And I call that like my little spiritual tablet. So when my trial went and they was deliberating, you know, I went to look through my spiritual tablet. And I'm like, you know, let me see what's going on. And I landed on a page that talked about trials. And it was like, it say trials, wing us from all worldly things. Trials reveal we really love. Trials help us value the blessing of a God. And then it said, suffering comes to help others who suffer. And when I read that, right then I said, I'm going to lose trial. I knew it. I knew legally it shouldn't have happened, but I knew at that point, I said, I'm going to lose trial. And when I went back in there and they came with the verdict and they said guilty, and, you know, my wife, you know, she, you know, going through it. Everybody in the courtroom was packed. You know, everybody, you know, they hollering and screaming. You know, I was real calm. You know, and, you know, I didn't, you know, the whole time I was in there, I ain't no tough guy, but I ain't shed one tear the whole time I was in there. It wasn't because I was so tough. It was, I knew God was going to deliver me from that situation. Yeah. And, you know, I knew I had to go. So I went on in, man, and waited my turn.
So even when you got convicted, you felt like you would come back.
I knew I would come back. Yeah. I knew legally, I was like, it's no way this conviction can stand. I know my case. Like, it's all public record. Yeah. You know, a person can take and go right there to Current Court website, put my name in. They can get all that stuff public record. And the thing is to read, I know you had a pleasure of reading the transcripts and stuff like that. You got to keep in mind, I'm like, it's no way you can sweep this under the rug for so long. It's almost impossible. I just couldn't see it happening. Like you know, it's unfortunately it happens because I had a lawyer tell me that. A lawyer told me specifically when we was talking about it, I was like, man, you know, I said, man, it's crazy. We reading the case. He was like, man, you got a bad break. I said, I know, right? I said, I can't believe it. And I'm sorry.
How many times they batted you down? Like, did you come back on the first time? Or
no,
how many times?
I lost my direct appeal.
Yeah, I remember with you when you lost.
And I couldn't believe that.
I remember what I was telling you. I didn't cut you off. You was like, bro, you had got a first group of lawyers. $50,000. I was like, man, you said they're going to do everything. I said, no, they're going to do this. And you was like, no, he told me to do everything. I said, listen. I said, I know you know, but I done had 5, 6 lawyers at this point. I done lost. I done robbed me all my money. I done paid him $15,000. I paid $120. Yeah. None of them ain't did nothing. Now, when I met him, I'm on my last stage of my lawyer. I found the right lawyers I had. I had Kelly at that time before all that. I was telling him, but I ain't gonna lie, even when that happened, I ain't see your faith waver. You still was Man, I know. I can't believe it. Every day it's like he waking up shocked. Like, bro, why I'm here? Like, I know.
I sat back and I say, man, ain't no way. When I did like, but see, like when you learn the law, the system it's so unfair, man. From the system, it's so unfair. It's designed. What I was gonna say real quick though is that lawyer told me when I said I couldn't believe it happened. He looked me in my face and he was like, I can. But I damn near came across the table. I couldn't believe he said it. I looked at him like, I'm talking about, you got the handcuffs on it. I'm ready to choke this shit out of him.
I done seen this before.
I couldn't believe it, right? But he was dead serious. He said, I can't. And I looked at him so serious to the point he knew he had to follow that up with something.
Yeah,
he knew that didn't sit well with me. And he was like, it happened all the time. He said, the only thing is you just have the funds to fight it.
That's what I was finna say. Remember, like how you say y'all culture different in Cincinnati, but something that universal I've been hearing about the preach now, but some of us don't listen. Like, save your money on that because your money gonna save you.
Yeah,
so imagine if you wasn't in a position to do it. Nobody, you just been another story. Cause just imagine in our dorm C3, we weren't the only one fighting our cases.
Man, we was at a lifers camp.
Everybody had life been down forever.
Everybody had. When I tell you, we was at a lifers camp. This camp was. The website had it at the time was 68% life. Now keep in mind, they not counting the people like the Tinos with 70 years and guys. Well, that don't count. They wouldn't count. No, they was talking about people who strictly have life sentences. Yeah. It was a camp.
And the camp was so fast too. When I say I'd have been in a lot of camp, this camp, all brakes, no gas.
Oh yeah. It was
top to bottom every day, all day.
It was a movement.
So talk about the day you figured out you was getting out.
Well.
Or it's overturned or whatever you want to call it.
How that went was like this here. When I came back to court for my evidentiary hearing, and I had a really, really good feeling. And I knew it. Like when I came back, and I sat through it. So I'm listening to the judge. I'm listening to what the judge is the questions that she asked in the state. And I'm looking at her face. I'm watching her facial expressions. And I could tell she was in disbelief. Like I'm checking her out. I'm looking at her whole movement. And she asked the state, I had a statewide prosecutor. She asked her a question. She said, "Is this all you have to present?" Like she was like, it's almost like she was looking for the judge. I mean, for the state to just give her something else. Because they don't want to overturn your sentence. Yeah. So it's almost like, just give me something. Yeah. I know you got something else. Just give me something.
Give me something to work with. Y'all, I can't hold them for this.
That part, yeah. and they couldn't present it.
Yeah,
and they studied saying the same thing. And basically, what they did with me is they tried to make it seem like who I associated myself with, which is the weirdest thing because they took every person with a record. Which is the weirdest thing. I didn't realize how many people I talked to and rent houses to. That, everybody had a record. It's like everybody I knew had robberies and drugs in their background at the time. But did at least the ones that they kept numbers? They only recorded 4,000 of them phone calls. They didn't record the whole 14,000. So they took all the guys who they considered the bad apples and recorded those calls. And they was trying to basically use that as a connection to me. As all of us had backgrounds of violence, robberies, drugs, things of that nature. And they tried to use that as to say, I guess we all the same or we all still do the same thing. And the judge was just looking like, come on, man, I know you got more than this. Just give me something. And when I seen that judge ask her that, the statewide prosecutor, she's like, is this all you got to present? Do you have anything else to present? And I could see her face, like she looking at her like, come on now.
Yeah.
You got to give me a little something. And when she couldn't do it, I left. And it's the funniest thing. They sent me back to prison, just like how they did you. Sent me back. So, a person see you come back, they be like, oh, man, he lost.
First thing they be saying.
Man, I told my wife, I said, baby girl, listen, you want that new Benz? Go on get that new Benz. I'm coming home. Trust me when I tell you. I already know it. I lived through it. Everybody, I said, man, trust me, I'm coming home. I sat through my hearing. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all looking at me back here, but trust me, it's just a matter of time. When that judge make that ruling, I'll be home. And sure enough, when the ruling came in, I called my wife. I never forget, I called her like I always do around the same time. And she answered the phone. And she just seemed extremely cheerful. Like I could hear it in her voice, but she trying to hold it in. And she's like, well, hold on for a second. And she called one of my cousins, I'm real close to, and called him on three-way or whatever the case may be. And that's when they gave me the news, man. Man, I dropped that phone, ran all around the dorm, man.
No,
they were looking crazy. I'm jumping all on the bunks.
Yeah.
And I was just overwhelmed
You
with
probably
joy,
grabbing,
man.
you know, you always be grabbing people.
How long it took you after that point to touch the grass?
After that point there, I think I probably stayed about another maybe 2. Well, it was a little longer than that because the way it works, and a lot of people don't understand that when you do give your sentence get overturned, it still exists. You just don't know, you don't have a conviction anymore. Yeah. So what happened is they end up sending me to the county, and I had the bond out from the county, and they drugged me. They didn't want me to get out. You know, keep in mind beforehand, I had they had filed a motion of pretrial detention on me. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I was a menace to society, and I was a really bad guy. Let's just say that.
So did the state appeal the overturn?
No, they knew that.
That's how. They tried. You know, they tried to appeal my sentence. That's how they had to give me a bond automatically.
Yeah,
you know
they didn't try to appeal. Man, they knew. They knew.
And
when I tell you,
that
knew.
feeling real. What you saying though, about when you know it's gonna happen? Because I found out when I came back for Avery case to help him out of his case, and I know we had the same lawyer. And I said, bro, when I get back, because my case was pending, I said they gonna give me a court date too. Like on my mom, I go in there. In the holding cell, BRC, the lawyer come see me. But you don't think she been talking about the case because, you're a witness here in every case. They have him out. She talk about that, play chess with me the whole time. At the end, she like, hey, but read this paper right here I got for you. And they had a court date on her. I couldn't believe it. I was rocking in the chair. Like, so just because I hadn't talked about it, I walked back to the door 4, 5, 6. No head crack, you feel me? Like, he like, what you talking about? Like 4, 5, 6. But I showed him the paper. He couldn't believe it, you feel me? Like, that's how I knew. Like, how you say you talking to Z, you could feel it, like, for real.
Feel
like.
it.
So I heard you say you told your wife to go get the new Benz.
Yeah, she wanted this.
What color it was?
Everything.
I was gonna say. Oh, see, I ain't know that. That's
what
I was
everything
gonna say.
platinum. Every car.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one thing that I did know about, even before I ever knew you or seen you or spoke to you. I knew Kirk got all the platinum cars. You know what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about your car game. Matter of fact, you ever in the book it said something about like. This is a dealership. You investing in cars?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us about your car game.
Car game is nice, man. I got a nice little collection. I got a Rolls Royce Ghost.
Everything platinum.
Everything platinum.
Same
I got
color.
Same.
You
color,
buy it like that, or you get it painted.
I buy it like this. Best thing to buy them like that, man.
Okay.
Buy them like that. They hold the value a little bit better. But I got the Rolls Royce Ghost. I got the G550. Which, my wife normally drive that G550, G-Wagon they call it. I got the GLE 43. I got my favorite car.
Seen like
I was
seven.
say, what's your favorite car?
I got the F250, sitting up there high. I got the 67 Mustang. I got the 72 Impala.
72 Impala. Stop at the Impala now. I'm gonna give you credit. Let me give you credit now. You used to be telling me about the Impala, right? But you used to go one out the other. When I decided I came home, your Impala is off the frame. Not everybody catching on now. Like
everybody doing it now.
And you did the first one. You wanted the first one to do
listen,
it.
Man, I don't know.
I didn't know nothing about. I ain't know the importance of it.
I did that. You got to keep in mind. I built my car, and I had that car since 1999. First of all, that was Black Pad Overt.
Black Pad, okay.
Black Pad Overt. I had it since 1999, and I rebuilt it. Off the frame and stuff like that. I did that in, I want to say, about 2000. I want to say probably like 2000, maybe 5 or 6. I think after like 2006, and I took it off the frame, didn't have one old bolt on it, whole motor out, sandblasted, powder coated the frame, everything. Right now, West Pulling Customs over there at the hot rod shop over in Winter Garden. He built it at the time. America Motorsport, they did the motor. And it was something that people wasn't doing at the time. They wasn't doing it.
Yeah, like, mirrors on the floor.
Is it a significance to the year 72?
Nothing like a 71 and 72. Them the best years.
Okay.
71, 72 is the best years, hand down, of a don't.
Some people like 7 Trey 75, but 71, 72, 7 Trey 75. Them the years.
73, 71, 72, and 73. Them the main ones.
Yeah.
Them the main ones. But a person to tell you 71 and 72 cost the most.
Yeah. Okay.
That's that baby. 71, 72. that's just the one. Big forehead is just a different movement.
They also increase crazy in volume. Since,
man.
Since the time you bought it,
Yeah.
I think a frame a regular broke down gonna cost you $40,000.
Man, you gonna pay
That's
that.
not
That's me.
And he got the mirrors on the floor. Like he been like that. So
When I tell you, you gonna pay a ticket for him. I know a buddy of mine right now selling a nice clean one, man, for $40,000.
See what I'm saying?
Nice. It's
So you
nice.
talking about back then when you in '99 you could probably get over
12,000.
Yeah,
but even
I bought mine
hot
for
COVID,
$5,500.
they was selling for $250,000, $300,000. Like did up all together with the new motors off the frame and all that.
They coming now.
That place who did Rod Wave Vert, say our custom started at $150,000. That's what it started at. Feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
So
it done went down a little bit because the place on the market, but it's still.
I turned down mine. I had a guy play for Tampa Bay Bucks, man, try to buy mine for $125. And he tried to buy me for $125. And I started selling it. I'm like, no, man.
You had it so long.
Yeah.
does the Vert cost more than the Bentley? Meaning what you got in it? Is it neck and
I
neck?
can't call. You know what it is? When I bought the actually it's the Rolls Royce. I had a Bentley, but I got rid of it. I had a Bentley too, but I got rid of the Bentley.
I'm sorry.
But when I bought my car, I paid a check for it when I bought it, man. I don't like to talk numbers.
No,
I bought a
I'm
big check.
just saying,
I bought a big check.
are they comparable?
I paid.
We talking about the old
what it is
school
with the
Chevy?
old school is this right here is I can't count the money I put in it because when I first did it, I mean, you got to keep in mind I had it since '99, so I might change that. Then when I went in and redid it, like now I'm about to go redo it, do some stuff to it again. I'm actually about to take it to the body shop tomorrow. Right now I'm taking it to the body shop tomorrow. I'm painting the same color, but it's just hard to really put a tag on it. I can tell you this right here.
I'm asking you, from the time that you had that car in the live and the time that you bought the Bentley, if you put them neck and neck in the world,
They're every bit about the same. They close. It's real.
Okay,
Let
which one you gonna get rid of first? If you had to pick to get rid of one,
that Vert ain't going nowhere.
that's what I'm trying to see. So that's your answer right there. That's your answer. That's your answer right there.
It been with me through good times and bad times. That thing done been a whole lot of stuff for me.
different motors.
Man, I switched the motor 3 times.
Yeah,
it would always work, but I just upgraded.
I understand.
Yeah. I would never get rid of that car. That car been with me through some times, man. I had some dead broke times. It was right there with me.
Did you say that was your favorite? Which one of your cars you say? So I see in your book, it's a few pictures in there, and also I probably seen it somewhere else, like floating over the internet, where you standing outside. Almost put me in the mind of Mayweather with all the. You probably got 7, 8 cars. They all look the same. You out there chilling. Out of those cars, which one of them would you consider your favorite?
That's 72 Impala. That's my favorite, man. It been with me through some times, man, and it's one of them. It free you. You can get in that car, man, and just crank it up. You can just ride to Kissimmee, ride to Daytona, anyway. Just go down there and turn back around, come back. It's just it frees you just to be in that old school, to feel the motor. I'm one of them old school guys, so I don't want the fuel injection. I know everybody doing it. I did it before.
Yeah,
I couldn't get when I did it. I was the first one did it that I know of in Orlando, but I couldn't get it right. I was dropping too much fuel in the motor, kept messing the motor up. But so I went back to carburetor. But it's just to feel that power. There's some power in there, a lot of horsepower.
I like them cars, but it's too much. I got too many people around me. Him too got the 7.3, 7.2. Got to every day is something too much money.
That's what made me pose the question, especially if you say you've done it a couple times. I know that Rolls Royce,
you got to be into
buy
it.
that, spend a check, that's it. That old school, you get sick of looking at this. I'm gonna change the motor, frame off, redo the gut, redo the music. So you talking about
a check?
But I'm saying by the time you pound for pound, you look at it from the day you got it to. And it still ain't done. It's still gonna be more stuff you gonna do.
Always. You go to a car show. You go to a car show. You gonna see something like, you know what?
Exactly. I like his deck. I like it how he did
I
fast.
got to do that.
I got the motorized hood, motorized trunk. My car been like that now since I want to say maybe 2000, maybe 9, 10, 11. I might have changed the interior, but it's the same setup.
Yeah.
All chrome, you can eat off the motor. Everything is just different.
Nah, you been ahead of your time though. Now I low bottom, no more bottom downs. I done got out and been around. I'm at the shop with my home every day. So I'm like, yeah, bro, been doing, feel me? Like I've been seeing yours, you feel me?
Yeah, man.
So run us through Run us through a couple of your endeavors, businesses. What businesses have you been involved with and are currently involved with? Just start from the beginning.
Well, my company is Platinum Investments Property Incorporated. Real estate company. I own numerous of homes. My wife and I, and I try to give people affordable rent. Some of them a little pricey. Also got Big Curse Blow Foundation. That's Bettering Lives of Warriors, where I try to reach out to the troubled teen and also help the formerly incarcerated. With housing. Just pretty much try to get them that extra. That lift. That boost. I'm a real big believer in giving a person a hand up. I ain't too big on handouts. What I mean? But I definitely like to see a person, get a chance to, come up. And when it come down to the youth, I'm real passionate about talking to the youth and trying to just get them the real, because, I don't think they get it. I don't think right now they getting that. I think right now, with our youth, social media, music. I mean, I listen to the music, but some of the things they're saying, they staring the kids wrong. And then right now, China, sending all that bull jive over here, man, just messing cats up, man, with all these designer drugs that they making, wherever they making them at.
Definitely different.
Definitely different, man. You can think, don't get it twisted. I never was a drug user. That's one of the things. I drink. So everybody got something they attached to. And I was a drinker, but I never wanted to use drugs because I just always felt like, one, hell, I might like it. I don't want to like it. Yeah. I like it. I'm going to spend all my money on it. You know what I mean? Right. So it was a situation where I never was big on, doing any kind of drugs. I don't do them. And now what's going on is you got these cats now, China sending, y'all know. They sending these guys, the fake fentanyl, and sending these guys, the fake Molly, and you got all these young cats dying, touching this stuff, and going crazy, smoking this stuff, and you got these rappers just promoting this stuff. Now you got from everything, from white people stuff. Now you got guys taking, raiding the medicine cabinets and stuff like that. It's so much going on. And I be looking at myself saying to the youth, like, damn, man, y'all see this right here. Y'all see this street stuff. But you was in there, like how we was in there. Yeah. We seen them young cats in there, man. This young, I'm talking about this, like, in their 20s, in their teens, nobody checking on them. They don't get no visit. Yeah. They don't have no money.
They trying to get high every day.
They pushing up on you, seeing if they can, if you let them reach out to their family. Like I'm like, man.
They don't even want to answer for them.
Like, your people, they don't want to take a free call.
Yeah.
They know where you at.
You ain't do nothing.
And they looking at their homeboys.
Now they young. They 18, 19. Like, but usually they say, like, when you go to prison, you young. No, your mom, that's mama baby. She gonna make sure you straight. You first get there. But then when they got when I first went to prison, my grandma wasn't playing. She trying to send money every time. Yeah. Grandma just chill. You feel me? Yeah. But like 10, 12 years I get in prison, 13 I get in prison, the new jits start coming up. Bro, that time you talk to your mama, bro, probably been like 6 months, probably been like a year. Like nobody ain't checking. They young.
Remember now, we came up in the 80s. So it's different. Like, you gonna have another respect. Like, the respect you got for your grandma probably ain't the same. The way the kids talk to their mom and grandma. So
a lot of their mom was so young too. They was like, their mom was out there ripping and running. They just know they in jail. They straight. Feel me?
They straight. And it's
I just
crazy.
Be like, dang, like, and all the young dudes take a liking to me. Feel me? I'm fly, doing pat my feet, running around. Feel me?
So both languages.
You know what I'm saying? So like, they just be like, dang. So they used to get on my nerve time, but I know I represent the struggle. So y'all part of who I am.
Exactly.
So I couldn't I never had funny with them. Feel me? Like sometimes y'all act going on. Like, get up out of here. Get up out of there.
So even with you and your, like, from reading the book, like the nonprofit organization, just from the outside looking in, somebody like yourself, you're gonna be able to reach a different level of people because you've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, fact.
It's different when you talking about it. You saying, bro, I was here, I done it on the biggest level you possibly can do it, and now I'm telling you that ain't it.
Ask them first time we on the yard, we talking. Everybody want to come talk about all that gangster stuff. We don't talk about that. Hey man, how you do this with the trust? You save money investing.
Exactly.
Bro doing stock market. He went to college, went to school. So
man, did all that.
We talking about stuff like, I know when I got the money, get the money, how I'm gonna change my game up. Like, hey bro,
they want to hear the stories.
You gotta take them gold teeth out your mouth, GB. I like, bro, so I'm gonna do that, feel me? That's how he be like, GB, clean your look up, take the gold out your mouth, feel me? Put your Robert Graham on, nice little suit. No, I ain't trying to hit none of that, but I'm listening to what he's saying, but I'm like, man, I ain't on that, feel me? But he was giving me the image, look, how you can be in both worlds, you feel me?
Because you got to be able to change. See, a person don't understand that. A lot of times, a person that box themselves out. A person, if you look, a lot of people want to look what I call visibly vicious. For whatever reason, I don't know. They trying to trick a person or what, but they want to look visibly vicious. They want to look like they vicious.
Yeah.
And what they don't understand is when you look like you vicious, you'll scare a lot of people off.
Yeah,
You're gonna close out opportunities.
You scare a lot of people off. In fact, if you was vicious, you would get more prey. Not looking visibly vicious.
No, fact.
You'll do a lot better like that. So, for whatever reason, everybody want that. So they sit back and watch them. They mark their face all up and
everybody in the chain getting
here.
the whole tattoo, head, face
and
tattoo.
I'll be sitting back saying, like, man, just do the math, man. If right now you was going, you could be the best lawyer in the world. But if a person coming to you and they looking like that, you like, no. You don't want them walking in your mouth. You don't want them doing nothing, man.
And a lot of times they don't even be living like that. They be having all that loud talking, all that. Like they be the ones don't even be soon. You check the trap, TOA test a heart. Yeah. They don't even add up. You feel me? They don't even be who they think they is. Like
exactly, man. So that's crazy. When you took them goals, that I ain't gonna lie, I was like, man, when you showed me them pictures and I saw that, 'cause I was still in there. I just smiled. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. 'Cause you gonna go farther.
No, fact.
When I had goals. I took my goals out, man, in 2002. And when I tell you, it was like so many opportunities. I got invited to a attorney friend of mine at the time to his wedding.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting invited to nowhere. Yeah. Even the guys I was getting money with wasn't inviting me nowhere.
Yeah.
They wasn't inviting me nowhere.
Well, I don't know now. I read the book. Now I know why they wasn't inviting you now.
Well, yeah.
You busting the door down. You know what I'm saying? Can't take her nowhere because it might not end up right. So another thing, me being an entrepreneur for my whole life, basically, and you being an entrepreneur on a high level, people think that they just see the glory. They just see the glitz. They think like, you know what I'm saying? It just happened. It's always good. Tell me about a trying endeavor or an investment that just, if you had to do over again, you would have just saved my money.
Listen, when I tell you that I wouldn't take none of them away, because I honestly, one of them people, and I don't just say it because it sounds good, it shaped me to be who I am. So I learned from them. Them was all lessons. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But however, it was a lot of heart-filled situations. A lot of times I got burned, investing in other people's business ideas. I had a guy one time, he had me buy he was a welder, and I bought so much welding stuff. He had to hook up on all this stuff. Somebody was going out of business. I bought all this stuff, and he decided he want to work when he want to work. Now I done invested all this money into all this equipment, and now he's not coming to do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to weld, so I'm stuck with it. It was a situation where so many bumps and bruises. My thing, I tell a person, man, if you want to get it, just get up, man. Pursue it, move, go, try. If you fall, just keep, get up. It ain't, I promise you, like all those cliches that people say that might sound good, it's some truth to those things. It ain't, it ain't matter how many times you fall, how many times you get back up. Those are true statements. Like, you got to be that person that just press forward and understand and know, like, yeah, you're going to have some errors. Try to think clearly, do what I call, because, a SWOT analysis, look at when you go to get into a situation. SWOT analysis mean, study your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats, see how these things can benefit you. And if it's a goal, use your mind, use your common sense, use your gut. You gonna trust me. A lot of times, things, you just try to trick yourself, and don't tell these little mind people your big ideas.
Yeah.
So one thing I learned, an old dude told me before, he said, if money your biggest problem, you don't got no problem.
Yeah.
Take that back to the story of the guy who you invested in with the welding. The problem is, I bet he ain't buy damn piece of equipment.
Not one piece.
So if you go back and thank him, he gonna pitch the idea to you. You got money, I ain't got money. Money is why I can't come up. But it ain't the money. It's you want to work when you want to.
You want to work when you want
know
to
what
work
I'm saying?
to.
It's everything else but the money.
Exactly.
But a person who don't got no hustle, they gonna say it's always the money. Like a couple of my friends, they well to do, and I wouldn't even want to beat them because me on my small level, people just see me as money. I ain't got no money. Like my partners got tens of millions of dollars. I can't imagine the knocks they get on the door. And when you sift through it, you done been around enough. You like, bro, money can't help you.
But I know why Kurt act like he act. Like Kurt gonna give you a lesson. Like I talked to you the other day, you told me to do at the store, ask you for, what did he ask you for? To buy something?
He asked me for some money.
Yeah, asked for some money, yeah.
And I told him, I said, nah, I ain't gonna give you no money. I said, man, I was like, man, come on. Actually, what I told him initially, but then, because I'm a firm believer of this. If God put it on your heart, then do it. I don't care if you see somebody out there scheming with the sign, you know, who I bypass those guys a lot. But if God put it on my heart to give him something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
A guy saw me at the store, and he asked me for some money. Young cat. I said, man, look at you, man. You younger than me.
Yeah.
You out here begging. I said, man, I ain't got no money for you, man.
Yeah.
And then he walked away humbly, you know what I mean? And then God, you know, I felt convicted. And I called him back. I said, boss, man, come here. I said, man, how old are you, man? He told me, I said, you what you out here hustling? What you doing, man? He's like, no, man, you know, I don't know. I said, I tell you what, come here. We went in the store and I got him a pack of water. I asked him, was he homeless? And he was like, no. I said, so you got a house? I said, you got lights on the house? He's like, yeah. So I go buy him the water. I said, look, check this out, man. I ain't at Walmart, so you ain't get the 32, but you got 24 of them, right? I said, go put these in your freezer at your house, man. Come out tomorrow, sell them for $1 a piece. You gonna get $24. This time, go right there to the Walmart, right down the street, right here on Clear Corner.
About 6.
Buy you the big one, and then do that. Keep freezing them, keep selling them. Get you a cooler, man. Or if you got a cooler, put them in the bag. Just freeze them all. They gonna start melting in the hot sun instead of light. I gave him a vest and everything. You know, I already had the vest in my truck. I said, man, put the vest on and sell these waters, man. And you will get a person to come to you and they'll bless you. They might give you more than that $1 because they see you trying to hustle. You want to see a person trying to do something versus than a person just begging, man. Like, you see a person begging, it's like, come on, family.
Yeah, you got to have it in you for one, and you got to be able to receive what you're telling. That's going back. Like, so what I seen in that is, you gave him 24. He sell that. He got $24. Now you can go get 432 packs.
Yeah. Exactly.
You ain't never got to look back no more. It's over. I sell water. But guess what?
They got to be in them. If they ain't in them, you gonna do
ready.
It.
Nah, Kurt always take the moments like that. Now he always do that with every look. We were locked up together, so we in the same dorm. I think about it. Somebody come to your door every day. Hey, bro, you got a soup I can borrow to tomorrow. And like, it ain't nothing but a soup cost 30 cents, but you're going to do it again tomorrow. So it's like you got to be doing something, bro, you feel me? Because, you know,
teach you how to fish.
That's exactly.
If I keep feeding you, I can starve you. If I teach you how to fish,
exactly.
You going on. Nobody don't want to learn how to fish. That's girls and everything. They just want you to give.
100%.
Because people want the easy route. A person that call you,
the hardest route when somebody can cut you off.
But no, see, they ain't looking for that. They looking for a person who go and they come in the handout. They looking for the next handout. You tell no, they go to somebody else. They go to somebody else. They looking for that just to continue to come because they looking at it to be easy versus putting in that work. When in reality, like I tell everybody, you know, they say, oh, it's so uneven. Right now, you know, I think America got 330 million people. Every single person, you can research it. Every single person in America can get 1 acre of land just in Texas alone. Yeah, just in Texas.
Yeah, they say, yeah.
And it's a situation where people like to try to say, especially like a lot of progressives, they like to say, oh, everything, let's get this socialist mentality and just give everybody the same amount of everything. When in reality, it still won't be even. Because we split the money up all the same evenly. I guarantee it's going to be some people with more and less within a day or two.
They say the same people going to end up with it.
Yeah,
you take all the money in the world and split it up equally, the same people with it now going to end up back with it.
It's a mentality.
I believe that.
It's a mentality. Yeah. The thing is a lot of people, you see, I mean, don't get it twisted. I won't claim this, pretend like I haven't been in that boat. I've been in that boat.
Yeah.
But you got to learn from the mistakes. I've been in the boat where you would take and you got your last, 10 grand and you put it all in your vehicle, and then you got that 1 grand left. Now you end up about to break your wrist trying to get you 3-4 cookies out of one zip, I done been in that position, but it's a situation where you got to learn. And when you learn, you go to saying like, you notice how you see a person might have fly to death, they clothes nice, they jewelry nice, they car nice, and they house raggedy. Yeah. You know what I mean? They pretty much, they ain't got a good furniture set in there and stuff like that. You'll say, well, damn, so many people, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but unfortunately, it's our people. A lot of, it's all people, but it's a lot of black people who want to wear their money. They want to show their money.
That come back from, I think you told me that, like Jim Crow days or something like that.
Oh, I told you that before. Yeah, that's the truth.
He told me.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah. Saying that to say, one time one of my buddies, he was like, people know me for dabbling in real estate. And I was like, he asked me something, and I was like, man, the reason why people will take 30, 40 grand and put in a car and they won't put that in the house because nobody can't see the house.
Yeah, fact.
Exactly. That's what it is.
You got all these property, can't nobody see it.
What I
you
just
got
say.
the Chevy, the Vert, everybody can see it. So guess what? I got the jewelry, I got everything I own right here. You got this dude with the look, with the what you call it, the kind of suit. He got the suit on. He got 30 houses. Don't nobody know. You can't see it. All his stuff is an asset.
Pay attention to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you.
No, go ahead.
Pay attention to. That's something when I said, you know, a lot of people want to wear their money. They want everybody to see it. They want to know it.
It's us.
If you really look at a lot of people with money, they might have a shirt on, like your shirt right there. That might be a $200 T-shirt, but they don't see no name on it. But I'm just telling you, it could be that. And because no name is on it, you don't realize. You thinking that people want to walk around like you getting a check from these companies.
So
you know?
guess what? It's what depending on what room you in. Because if you know, you know. Meaning like you can have on this, it don't look like nothing. You got that, it don't look like nothing.
Yeah.
You got that shirt on, it don't look like nothing. But somebody in the know, the people who you want to impress, they gonna see it because they been in there looking at that $700 T-shirt that don't look like nothing, and they know what it look like as soon as they see it. So same with watches and anything that means something, not the fly stuff we got, the stuff that costs money.
You better know it.
If you don't know it, you know what I'm saying. If you don't know, you know. So.
Let me say something real quick. I'm sorry. I just want to break. Remember we was at up in prison?
Yeah.
And everybody was going nuts over the G-Shock watch. And I had the Cartier watch.
He had a Cartier.
I got a $7,000 watch.
They don't look.
Rubber Cartier watch.
Rubber band.
Everybody wearing about that G-Shock. I got a $7,000 Cartier watch on.
The G-Shock is the prison Rolex.
That's like the prison Rolex.
So it's in your mind like I gotta get a G-Shock. So the Cartier, the police now, they just looking like you ain't got nothing.
Right on in there.
That ain't the room you want to be in. But I guarantee you, if y'all had some of them Italians or something, they gonna walk right up on you and be like, "Hey," because they done been in the store looking at that. They know what it is. It might be too much for them.
I ain't know till he told me though. I'm like, I wasn't looking at. He had to tell me like, I had to go look it up. Glass and all. I had to go look it up.
Glass and $7,000-$8,000 watch on.
Going back to us as a culture. The people who we trying to impress, they like it's the wrong people.
No,
but going to real meeting, a business meeting or a real estate meeting with people who can really do something, they gonna peep it off the rip, and they gonna gravitate towards you, and you might have a conversation about that. We get to the end. We almost ready to check out.
Okay.
What's next for Curtis Ruff?
Okay. Next is the docuseries. It's coming. I was in talks with a company out of Michigan, but they ain't trying to treat me right. You know, they you know, it's them putting up the majority of the money. I want to do a docuseries, and man, I tell you, it's gonna be.
What's the docuseries on?
The docuseries is gonna be on my life. But you know, we can say some of the things in this is fictional and not true.
They know how to say it.
You know, but it's gonna be nice, man. You know that. This book that I wrote, you know, I wanted to do this on a real positive level. That's where my heart is at right now. You know, my nonprofit is something that I want to push because I got a passion for that. My company been in existence for a while. It do what it do. You know, I'm happy with that. When it comes down to me as a person, you know, I'm happy with just my life as just a family man, you know, being in the house with my kids. I'm in the house every night. You know, you never be out this late. I'm in the house 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I know you tell
phones off, the whole nine, you know. And I've been like that for years. Even before I went in, I used to be in the house like real early. It's just a situation, man, where it's like, you know, I embrace that family atmosphere, you know, family first, and just when it, you know, I'm on the second half of life right now.
Well, we in the third quarter for sure. If
exactly.
you get 80 and you're over 40, we in the third quarter.
You hear me?
Sure.
So right now I'm sitting back and I'm just enjoying life, man. I want to push my book because I want everybody to just get a chance to read it. I think it'll change their life. I mean, if I had it in my power and I could just give everybody a free copy, I would, because I feel that passion about the words that I wrote in there. Like I say, don't just focus on the rough route. I started off with the rough route for credibility and just to, you know, set the tone. And at the same time, I also want a person to focus on redemption. And the reason being is because I know that God gave me a second chance at life. Right. You know, I know that it's things where I should have got a life sentence for. I know it's things where I should have probably been lost my life for it,
Yeah.
And at the same time, being the fact that God allowed me to still stand and be in a position where I can go and, I can throw football with my son in my house. I can do cartwheels in my house, it ain't, I got
Precious
No,
moments.
you got a big house.
I got a pretty
I seen it on Facebook.
Precious
like
moments.
that.
The precious moments.
Facebook, the big old slide like that. I seen it.
It's a situation where, it's a blessing and everybody don't get that blessing. I seen the guys, you seen the guys who they first, look at you, man. You was 18 when you caught that 30.
Yeah.
Being robbed of dreams and hopes and wishes and, God, he took you from that. You know what I mean? And you put in the work, but he took you from that. A lot of guys don't get that chance. So me getting that chance, it's like, look, let me talk to these cats, man, and let you know. So if you decide to get in the streets, you can, one, know the bad that come with it, know that it's the worst thing about being in the streets is not that you can't make money. Because you can, I will never lie and tell her you can't make money in the streets. But the truth of the matter is, it's an addiction that's hard to overcome. That addiction is what caused you to go to have a drastic ending. That's what leads you to jail or the penitentiary. Because you never get full. You feed in a bottomless pit. No matter how much money you make, it's not going to be enough. You start off saying, I done it. I want 100,000. Man, I got that and realized 100,000 ain't nothing.
Hey,
I want $250,000. I got that and realized that wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
I literally, I on a PG-13 just said I slept on a meal, and I realized that wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
You spend $1 ain't $1 million no more.
It don't. That hunger don't go nowhere. I wish I could quote the Jay-Z lyric where he said, basically, we both addicted.
Yeah.
I'm selling, you using.
Yeah.
We both.
That's not fair.
We
Yeah.
both
You know what I'm
addicted.
saying? We both addicted.
That's what hurt cats though, man. That's what hurt them though, for real, because it's like
It's
you
a journey.
chasing
You
that.
never get there. You never get there. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go. My overall goal growing up in Ivan Lane Projects was to have a house in $100,000. That was the biggest I ever seen. So a lot of times we dream too small.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you have people like yourself, and when you say I want that 100,000, you got somebody, a big dog, pull your coat, say, hey, boy,
That ain't gonna do
you
it.
wasting your time.
But if you get 100,000, it can work for you if you do the right things with it, and you will never have to work hard again.
If you don't think it's a lot.
But you gotta be able to invest it. So
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure.
don't think you gotta have $1 million. You can get 25,000 and it can change your life, but you gotta have a plan.
That's the fact.
Leverage. Yeah,
You gotta have a plan.
Before we get out of here, man, I appreciate you coming to us, man. Real
Definitely
gentleman
appreciate
talk, real player coming, pull up on us. Y'all make sure y'all get this book, man.
The link gonna be at the
The
bottom.
link gonna be in the
Redemption of a
bottom.
Rough Rider.
It's on
Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Amazon. You got my
Yeah, check it out.
website, www.curtisruff.com. It'll talk about a lot of my businesses. Hey, I appreciate coming out here, man. Y'all got gifts. You see, I got you drink over there, a couple books,
you.
man.
Oh yeah, this is the first guest we had that brought us a gift.
Brought us gifts.
We
Gotta
got
bring a gift, man.
Hey
Gotta
man, when
bring
you
a
come
gift.
on No U-Turn, bring something, man.
Yeah, bring
Gotta
it.
bring something, man. Come on,
We got
man.
any sponsors?
Yeah, hey, Prolific Tax, man. Y'all check the video at the end.
Prolific
man.
Tax.
Let's go, man. We out of here. No U-turns. Let's
Hey,
go.
no U-Turn.
Let's do it, man. Y'all already know. Straight up.
That was dope right there.
Here at Prolific Tax, we believe in client satisfaction. The new tax year is finally here, and we are open and available to get you prepared, guaranteeing the max refund. So if you are looking for a tax home, make sure you contact Prolific Tax today, the place where taxes get done the right way.
Hey, it's that time again. Tax season finally here. Come get your taxes done with us at Prolific Tax. We're located on 5923 Old and Gone Road, Suite 119 in Orlando, Florida.